Hey y'all. Ha- What? What? We've lost Michelle.
Oh,
She's
no,
died.
I'm here. I'm
Oh,
here.
great,
I'm
great, great.
here. Hi. Hello. How you
I was like,
doing?
she's gone.
Don't make an announcement like that. She's dead. Hi
She's gone. No.
from the afterlife.
Hi from the underworld. No. Hi, guys.
Hey y'all. Hey y'all.
We're back.
Yeah.
It's been busy, busy, busy. Um, but we wanted to try a thing. And
Yeah.
because you guys happen to listen to us, you are now a part of said thing.
Mhm.
Sorry. I'm still Drea.
I'm Michelle.
This is still sort of Life 401 Advanced
Advanced
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
There
It's
you
not
go.
sort of.
Sort of. It's we're trying a mini-sode, guys, because we talk a lot. And you might not want to hear us flapping our gums all the damn time. But you might want to get some info. So
Yeah. I mean, like, so we decided to do a zero period for y'all.
yeah. It's like
So
homeroom. It's like study
yeah.
hall.
Yeah. So like this is the place the people who like y'all are funny and I enjoy listening to y'all, but damn, do y'all gotta talk so much.
Right. I'm just here for the facts. I don't care what's going on. So,
Yeah. Like this is for like I want to learn a thing.
right. This is for
Not
you. And
yeah.
hopefully we will keep ourselves to a much shorter time frame. But
We're
you
gonna
won't hate
try.
us.
We're gonna
We're gonna try.
try.
We're gonna try. You guys know we go on tangents all the time, but we're gonna try
We're gonna
to
bring it
be,
back.
yeah,
Bring it
bring
back.
it back. We're gonna be succinct and direct.
We're gonna work on concision, which is a thing.
Yeah, Michelle knows big words.
After you said succinct. But
Succinct is
our
a small word.
concise or concision are small word. Anyway, focus,
Focus, focus.
focus,
All right. So,
focus.
so this series of zero periods for now is going to be about a lot of different things. It's going to bounce around to a lot of different subjects. Some of the subjects are going to recur because there's so much to learn about some of them. So today we decided to focus on weird phenomena, weird shit that has happened in life that you'd be like, why in history did this happen? Nobody talked about it. And that's what we're gonna focus on. Yeah. Um, and the first weird shit in history that we're gonna focus on centers around a man named Robert Leastone. I am probably not saying that right. I'm gonna say Liston, maybe. Uh, he's
How's
from
it spelled? Tell me.
Liston, so it could go either way.
It could
You
be
know,
listed.
could be Liston. I'm gonna say Liston. But he's from like Scotland in theory. So fingers crossed that we're right here. Um,
Yeah.
it happens in, of course, the past. It's historical. Liston is born like he was born in like the 1700s, y'all. He was born in
Okay.
like the 1790s, so right at the end, but still, like he was old. Um, and he was born in Scotland. Parents were like reverends and whatever, but he was like, "Nah, bro, I'm smart as hell." And so he went to college and he became a surgeon. Um,
Woo!
right?
Start
Medicine,
him
we
up.
need it. We love it. However, by the time he became a surgeon, it was like the early 1800s. So, medicine was just stabbing in the dark and not realizing that, like, you needed
Just
to clean things. Germs
stabbing,
existed.
stabbing in the dark. Yeah.
Literally. Like, they didn't have good light back then. Think about it. They were stabbing people. Um, it was before like antiseptic was made. It was before anesthesia that he started. And like when he was a surgeon, it was really about like it's not like complicated surgery like they were doing now. It was really like amputations.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh. Yeah, you got shot, cut the
I
leg
mean,
off.
cut the leg off. He's not going to keep it. Or,
Speaking,
just remove this entire slab of meat from their body and hope they're going to make it.
right.
Um,
They used to call doctors, like especially military doctors, sawbones because that's what they did.
yes. Yes.
But I digress. Carry on. I'm sorry.
Or hatchet men because they were just chopping people up. Anyhow, but
It's just
but he was actually a pretty good doctor. Like he was really well known. And at that time, like it was believed that the ability of a patient to survive after surgery was really all about like how fast you could get a surgery closed up, right? Like the longer they were open, the worse their odds, which was true because again,
yeah.
they did not believe in things like, or they did not have things like antiseptic. Washing hands was not yet a thing. Usually surgical tools and things were stored in like salves instead of being washed. So it's not necessarily wrong. And he was so good at surgery. How good was he? Sorry. No, he was so good at surgery that he was rumored to be able to start an amputation from beginning to end in 30 seconds.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, girl. Like
Like
thir-
one Mississippi,
30 seconds.
two.
And like his number one thing would be like, time me.
What type of what the fuck?
It was
I
a
can't
thing.
even. Okay, 30 seconds. He
30
amputated.
seconds. Cut your leg off. I'm already sewing you back up. Like it was intense. But
Ooh,
it was like he was so good at it that like people would like doctors and surgeons would crowd his surgeries to be able to watch because they'd be like, how the hell? He's like the Flash. Like he's doing so much. And he actually did a lot for medicine. Like he was one of the first surgeons to be like, hey guys, I'm gonna make sure I wash my hands before surgery. And if I'm gonna go into surgery, they better have like clean sponges and
okay. So
wash my
so
gowns. So he
okay,
was ahead of
so
the times.
except he was playing Speed Racer.
I mean, yes. And he was also kind of known for like if his hands were under otherwise engaged, he would like put his knife in his teeth sometimes to like to make sure he could do what he needed to do and then take the knife back out and like finish it up. Look, it
Dental,
wasn't a perfect time.
I was gonna say oral hygiene wasn't so great either.
No,
Like,
no. It wasn't necessarily the best, especially compared to now. But like, he was good for his time. However, we're not here to talk about all the great things that Liston did, because he's known for one really, really bad surgery. Like it was the terrible, no good,
very bad
very
day.
bad day for him. So he went into surgery again, one of the fastest surgeons alive at the time. This is before anesthesia, but he also was very much of the mind that like people don't need to be in excruciating pain for you to like for them to heal, which was thought to be at the time. Like that the excruciating pain of surgery would help them heal faster. He was like, yeah, I don't think I believe in that. But this day, he was like, ain't got no anesthesia, it doesn't exist yet, but I got to do this leg amputation. And so it was so fast that he kind of lost track of the things he was cutting, for this leg amputation and ended up cutting off his assistant's fingers.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he cut off two fingers from the assistant, so not just one, just two, in the middle of surgery. They wrapped it up and things, but he and said patient, losing blood. He was also moving so fast that he cut one of the watching doctors, because remember the gallery of the surgery used to be like full because
Open.
he was the
Yeah.
fastest surgeon. He cut the like jacket of another surgeon who was sitting there watching, like an elderly doctor who was sitting there watching, and that didn't go as well either. So, in the end, the patient who was getting the amputation sadly died. He got gangrene, unfortunately, and succumbed to those injuries. The doctor who was his assistant, who got two fingers cut off, also died. Straight dead.
Okay, okay, wait. Let me count. Wait a minute, back up. So
Uh huh.
you said the
Patient,
patient died.
patient dead. The assistant accidentally cut off two fingers.
He
He dead
did.
too. Third doctor
Wait.
who got cut, his jacket got cut. He did not actually get cut. He only cut the suit jacket. But the doctor was old and thought he got cut.
Oh my God, did he
And
have
so
a
he
heart
went
attack?
into shock and had a heart attack
Oh,
as well.
God damn.
So this went down as one of the only surgeries where they were operating on one person
And three people
and
died.
three people died. And he ended up with a 300% mortality rate thanks to this. Yeah, it's fucked up. One surgery changed the game. However, because it was back in the days, the 1800s, like they didn't really care. He continued to be a really well known surgeon. And he actually became known for something else that was good. He ended up becoming known as the first doctor in Europe to perform surgery using anesthesia. So
I
when
guess
ether was created,
he was. Oh, just another way to kill folks. Cause you just
yes. But ether, they created ether, Americans created ether in
Americans love
this,
their drugs.
their drugs. Well, it was meant for like hypnotism. That's the way they like that was the original
America loves
creation.
their drugs.
And then they figured out like, oh, ether just makes people hot. It's not hypnotizing anybody. So they started using it as like anesthetic. So he was the first one to use it over in Europe. And like he also did hella other things. Like he helped like push forward the idea of like, no, a patient needs to be in like good standing and good presence of mind before you go into surgery. Like if your patient is depressed, like postpone their surgery because they not gonna make it.
God.
He also was like one of the first ones that came up with like trying to understand the post surgical process and making sure that post surgical care was just as important as like the surgery is itself. So he did a lot of great things, but the bigger thing is dude killed three people in a one person
One person
surgery.
surgery.
So, that's my fun fact about history that probably no one knows. Enjoy.
What the fuck?
Aren't you glad you don't live in the 1800s?
Okay, so yeah, like I've had surgery on my legs, okay?
Hmm.
First of all, if my injury had happened back then, I would not have legs.
Oh, you'd
Like
you'd be donezo.
I would have been it would have been a double amputee, triple because my arm too.
Yeah, your
So I
arm would
would
have been
have
gone.
I would have had the one arm
Hmm.
and I'd have been in a wheelchair if I made it, if I didn't die. And also, let's also be very real. I'm a black woman, so I probably wouldn't have been seen.
No.
I just would have died.
Oh, he did one more thing. He's the guy who created the U-shape surgical amputation. Like he pioneered it. So before they used to like cut a circle around the limb and then go in with like the bone saw and hope for it. He pioneered the idea of like, oh, you cut a U so you can peel things back and then you cut out the rest of the limb so that you don't necessarily lose all the blood flow while you're still working. Like it was a whole thing.
Oh, he don't care about blood flow. That's sweet. You know what? I feel like his failure and the shame of the failure made him like find other things to be good at.
Yes. I really think when that shit happened, he was like, "All right, we got to get better." We being me.
Yes. Yes. And like also we have now learned that operating theaters are probably not the best thing to have. Like
No,
you got all these folks watching you. I mean, and it's unsanitary.
it is. And also, like, it's not necessarily the most conducive for the surgeon. Like, I've sat in an operating theater. I've watched a full knee replacement before.
Mm, sounds cool.
It was very cool. It was part of my anatomy class. Um, we we video conferenced in to a knee surgery. It was wonderful. But also, like,
Cool.
mid surgery, we were like, "Excuse me, Mr. Doctor, sir," because we were students. Yeah, when you do that, like, are you guys going to be able to do this with like a bone patella? Have you guys created a plastic patella?
Don't ask him fucking questions.
He was talking back like we were using it as a full learning experience.
Yeah,
Hindsight, man, hindsight. This was the 2000s.
I would have been like, get these fucking kids out of here. Like they keep talking to me. I
He
need
agreed,
to
and the
focus.
patient knew as well.
Well, I hope so. I hope the patient knew.
It's a whole knee reconstruction
That's
right then.
that's too much. So it's funny that you talked about like this like medical weird shit thing that happened because
Hmm.
my thing that I found is weird too.
Okay, let's talk about the weird shit that's happened in history.
Right. So, have you ever okay, so just think about it. Have you ever heard the word choreomania
I have actually not heard that word ever. No.
ever in life?
Mm-mm.
So, let me tell you what it is. And this is from the APA Dictionary of Psychology,
Ooh, they
right?
legit.
Yeah. So it's an uncontrollable urge to dance, especially in a frenzied, convulsive manner.
Mm, I've been there.
Nah, nah, you ain't been there like this. So let me tell you where this came from. So there was this happened in like the medieval times in Central Europe. It was
Hmm.
also known as Saint Vitus dance.
Okay.
Right, and so it involved like crowds of people dancing. So, you would think about a flash mob, except these people were like, dance, dance, dance till you're dead. Like they just was
Yeah, like, but
dancing.
literally, I've heard of this. Yes, literally.
Right.
Yes.
And so apparently it's 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 bizarre, but it was like a regular occurrence. Like so eyewitnesses would be like, "Hey, they dancing and they can't stop." And the police was like, "This is a crisis. Like
Yes.
what are we doing?" And it appears that it was contagious,
Yes.
right? And
Hmm.
so it happened in um June of 1374.
So hella old times.
Right, so this is one of the oldest like accounts of it in Germany, and it says like just people started to pour out of their houses and into the street where they were dancing and whirling uncontrollably.
Too much.
Okay? And in Germany they also called it St. John's dance,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
But it was crazy. So listen to this this like excerpt from a book that explained it. It says they formed circles hand in hand and appearing to have lost all control of their senses, continued dancing, regardless of the bystanders, for hours together in wild delirium until at length they fell to the ground in a state of exhaustion. They then complained of extreme oppression and groaned as if in the agonies of death until they were swathed in cloths bound tightly round their waists, upon which they again recovered and remained free from complaint until the next attack.
That's craziness.
And it spread. It was in the Netherlands, Belgium, Italy.
Yes. So I heard about when it happened in Strasbourg,
Right. And so
and
like that's
they did not wrap people up because
no.
they sucked. They
Right.
sucked at containing it.
So that was the one that happened in July. Maybe this is a summer thing. So in July
Maybe it's like the shootings
1518.
that happen in summer.
Yeah, you know? So the one you're talking about in Strasbourg, it happened in July 1518. A woman named Frau Troffa
Yes.
began dancing in the street. And she just kept dancing, and within 4 days, 33 other people, and within a month, there were 400.
Yes.
And a lot of them suffered heart attacks and died.
So many died. So I've heard of this. And like part of what went wrong in Strasbourg is rather than binding them and making them sit down somewhere,
They just let them kind of dance.
oh, they let them dance and then they put them in onto a stage
And it was a
and they were
show.
confused that more people were joining. I'm like, you didn't put these people on display. Like, and if it's contagious, like the more it's in your face in theory.
Right.
Yeah, they hired musicians. They did a whole thing in Strasbourg.
Right. And so some people believe that the dancing was a curse brought on by Saint Vitus, who
Mhm.
is a Christian saint from Sicily. So they decided we're gonna pray and make pilgrimages to places that was dedicated to him. And
Yes.
so some people recovered, and so they were like, "Yeah, that's what's happening. We need to pray." And so they connected it. Let me tell you something. First of all, correlation does not equal causation.
Not at all.
Okay, and so the Smithsonian has said that like they've blamed a toxin produced by a fungus that grew
Mm,
on rye.
like a blight.
Yeah, egret poisoning.
Okay.
And they said it can bring on hallucinations, spasms, and delusion.
It's possible because there were all types of like famine and like diseases happening back then.
Right. And then so, but the other thing, though, too, not all the regions that were affected by the dancing would have been home to people who consumed rye. So
Mm,
we're not sure. And they were like the outbreaks didn't always happen during the wet season when fungus would have grown. So
right.
we're not really sure.
Well, I know other people have also said that that was like a social disease. It was a social a like mass social delirium that happened, which is why they were like when the people in Strasbourg got put onto a stage to dance,
Yeah, and they were like they
more
just need
people
to dance it
joined.
out.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, once they were isolated, they saw things decline after said pilgrimages.
Right. And so like we still don't know. And so some experts think that it was madness. How like
Just everybody crazy. I don't know.
right. And I guess so, but in 1518 like you were talking about, the people in Strasbourg, they had famine, disease, and there was a belief that supernatural forces could make them dance,
Ooh.
right? And in
Demons.
1374, when like the other one time I was talking about,
Hmm.
a lot of places were suffering from the aftermath of the Black Death.
Europe, y'all had problems, man.
Yeah, but still again, like that's what some people think. But then another historian was like, "No, like because these people weren't all from the same areas." He was like, the
Yeah, there
dancers
were
were usually,
multiple like regions.
yeah, he was like they were religious pilgrims.
Mm.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll never know. But people
Yeah.
used to dance till they died. Literally. Next time you hear the song, be confused.
Right. So, I mean, we still don't know what made these folks do this, but it happened so much that it found its way into this APA dictionary of psychology.
Right.
It's
It's in the
like
zeitgeist.
it's like real. And so I'm just like I'm thinking about it and I'm like, is TikTok like that?
Ooh.
Cause you how often you think about how often you see if you scroll through TikTok or Instagram Reels and you can watch 5 videos back to back of people doing the same dance to the same song.
You sure can.
And then you can see people TikToking in public. They're recording themselves and people walk behind them and start dancing. So I'm just like, what's going on?
We're going back. We're going back to it.
I don't want
I
to.
think, of course, with social media, it's easier to spread, it's easier to join. But, if y'all start seeing TikTok dance-a-thons, be wary
Yeah.
because we just had a plague. Like, we still ain't done with it. Let's be honest. We're not done with our plague, but if it's correlated, I don't necessarily want to think about how many TikTokers could die. Oh, that would be so sad.
It would be.
We're not going to wish that on them. We're not. Maybe a little bit. I kind of want to see it. No. Ew, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you found something out new during the zero period.
Yeah. I mean, this, and I think if you wanted to get someone interested in this podcast, maybe this is the episode.
Yeah.
Not a not a 2-hour one.
No, 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 no. And we do know, like, our last episodes have been not kind of, very long with us
Yeah.
getting back into it. It's because we missed you. Um,
And we had so many things to tell you.
we did, but
And we have soapboxes.
we also have soapboxes. So
Many soapboxes.
sorry. But yeah, this is us. This is what we're doing. Maybe you like it. Maybe you don't. Let us know. Follow us on Instagram and yell at our posts.
Yeah.
And or don't, that's fine. Um,
Or just follow us.
just follow us wherever. We care. Um, but I'm Drea,
I'm Michelle, y'all.
and this has sort of been Life 401,
Advanced Shenanigans.
and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.